Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for everything we discuss, so let's get on with it. This week, Chris explains the new item interaction system in 10 for the Chairman. We hear about the future of Crusader and see more in-hangar shots of the Starfarer in Around the Verse, plus all the need-to-know facts from Reverse the Verse. If you are still to sign up to the RSI website, please use my referral code as shown on screen or in the description, and you'll receive 5,000 United Earth credits which can be spent in the Voyager Direct store for your ships, your character, or whatever you choose. You don't have to spend anything to sign up, it's only once you pledge that I'll be granted an RP point, which will get me some little rewards in the future. So Chris is back for this week's 10 for the Chairman. Going straight into the questions, how will docking with other ships work? You say they're working on a schedule to get collars sort of unifying. The idea is to unify all the telescoping collars. Not all the ships will have them, but things like the Aurora will be able to dock with the Constellation easily, but maybe not with the Freelancer with it being a different manufacturer. In most cases, they say the bigger ships can do airlock docking and the smaller ships may not. But they are still to work it out, so not everything will be able to dock with everything else. But again, we will not know until further down the line. Second question. During a flight, will we have enough time to do all the amazing repair things we hear about? As currently, it seems 1 to 2 minutes for the Constellation before it explodes. And he says the goal is to have the repair system give an effect. He said it's a big balance job, and so far, yes, the Connie does blow up a little too quickly. They have not finished or implemented the damage and repair stuff fully yet, so there's still a lot of work to do there. But you'll be able to repair your ship while taking damage, and this will keep it going for longer. So if you weren't repairing while taking damage, then obviously your ship will not last as long, but it needs to be balanced and enhanced. So next question. Any plans to populate the space or night sky with images of far-off galaxies, nebulas, pulsars, etc, etc? And he says yes. Longer term, you'll see things like nebulas from Arena Commander, and then they'll build it out with the star map so it's appropriate to where you are. So if you are in a certain system with a certain nebula, then if you are looking in that direction, you will see this. Moving on, will we see mode switching for turrets to help target ships while operating a turret? And they say yes, currently there are 2 modes. I can't remember what they are. One of them is relative to your ship and so forth, but they are working now to improve it. 2.2 will have some more improvements to the turrets. They want to make them more responsive with better UI, make it easier for tracking targets and getting more info on the targets. They need them to be faster responding, more natural, and ultimately they want the experience to be fun. Multi-crew is one of the hallmarks of the game, which is why it will be done properly. So teamwork will make a lot of difference. Next question. Is there going to be an option regarding playing music in flight like we've seen in the Cutlass commercial? And they say it's already in the hangar. You already have this ability with the jukebox. So it will come longer term, but obviously it's not priority now. Not all ships would likely have the system to play your music, but it will be a cool upgrade for the future. He said it will be a task for the audio, but he wants them to get the positional VoIP chat sorted first, as that would take priority. Next question, is the continuation of flight development shifting to Crusader rather than Arena Commander from now on? And he says the best way to think about it is that Arena Commander is a game within a game. Crusader is currently the testbed now for everything, so flight, FPS, etc. And also Crusader is just a small part of the Stanton system, so it will soon become the full Stanton system, which Crusader is a planet of. The next few patches from 2.3 onwards, it will be more fleshed out to be the Stanton system, and you'll be able to travel around the areas and land on the locations. That is the persistent universe, whereas Arena Commander is just an arena for you to test your skills. Obviously, it was the first testbed for flight, just as Star Marine was intended to be the first testbed for FPS, until they got something with it all in, which is Crusader. So the baby PU Crusader is now the testbed. And as said before, Arena Commander is a good place for you to test your piloting skills in an area where if you die, it's not going to have any consequence. Whereas when you get into the PU and it's more fleshed out, it will not be as easy and there will be consequences for death and so forth. Second to last question, is there a plan to change the use icon, which we all know is quite grotesque? And this, he says, is in the process now. It's all part of this item system 2.0, which he says again may debut in 2.3. Do not hold him to that though. And messages will be multiple and contextual, so you can do more than one action with one item. And it'll be presented in kind of a list where you can choose from. So for example, if you go to a door, this door can either be opened or closed. If it's closed, then you may have the option to kick it down, and then when open, you can then close it. And obviously, with this will come things like locking and so forth. So you'll be able to do a lot more. You can also work on parts of your ship. So for example, he gave a radio. He said if you look at the radio, you will have the on and off and a dial. If you're looking at the on and off function, then you'll be able to turn it on or off depending on what state it's in currently. And then if you look at the dial, you'll be able to tune to a station. You'll also have the ability to do things to vehicles and parts of vehicles. So let's say the turret has lost power after you've taken so much damage. This piping system which connects the turret to the power plant will have some sort of fuse box in between, and the fuse will blow within this box. So you'll run over to this fuse box, have the option to open it up, then you will look at the fuse with the option to remove the damaged fuse. Once removed, you'll have the option to replace it, as long as you have a fuse in your inventory. So this is coming with 2.3 potentially. Very excited. It'll remove this whole use function, which is just horrible, and allow for much further interaction with your ship and items. Last question, could we have external character model editing tools so we can work on them outside of the client software? And he said it's not a bad suggestion, but current plan is to customize your face for Squadron 42, and then if you go to the PU, you'll have the option to do it there. There will be things like medical facilities within the persistent universe which will allow you to change your face reconstruction. He's not sure about releasing a standalone generator like, I think it was Black Desert, he said, as the system they are using is tied to the CryEngine, but you never know in the future. But he does think that they are client-bound, so we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, that was 10 for the Chairman, episode 76. Tell me your thoughts. What did you like? What didn't you like? So, on to Around the Verse, episode 2.17. Sandy and Ben started by saying that the PAX South free flight is still in effect, so if you are yet to pledge for an account, do sign up to the RSA website where you can fly for free. You can check out Crusader without spending a penny. I don't mean going to the toilet. 2 weeks left for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen bundles. After the 14th, you'll have to buy them each separately. And also there's a new web update to show what subscribers get. If you subscribe to Star Citizen on their website, not on the YouTube, you get little perks and bonuses, plus it helps create shows like Around the Verse, 10 for the Chairman, and all the community stuff we see. Anyway, news from Around the Verse, starting with the CIG in LA. They say they're refactoring the 325, giving it an overhaul. They're gathering feedback on all ships and focusing on thruster particle effects. CIG in Austin, they've done a fiction pass on the Levski Zone, which is where Dave Haddock, who is the lead writer, went through the level and just called out little things here and there to help enhance the fiction. So things like signs, particular posters advertising certain things, maybe putting a statue of a famous figure, just to give it more of a history and more of a real feeling to it. Also, they've done lighting passes on the Knicks shops. They've worked on the showroom scene animations where they did a mocap for specifically Astro Armada's NPC, so you'll see businessmen and women. You'll see people watching and pointing at the advertisements and other ships, plus people walking around, waiters and waitresses serving champagne. Again, bringing more of a realistic feel to the showrooms. They finished a tool called the Inclusion Mapper. This is something that keeps things secret on builds that they release to the public so that no secrets get shared, specifically about Squadron 42. So if they release a build to us, there will be things hidden within the code and the files that they don't want us to find. So this is just to stop it and stop leaks from getting out. Foundry 42 in the UK. Chris Roberts is there and he's in lots of meeting. Again, specifically about Squadron 42, the level reviews. They're also getting the turrets working in capital ships, as well as every other ship, bringing the UI up to speed for this. He said the Idris was flying in a very, very basic form. They've got a long way to go, but they're getting all the systems for it working and putting together. Very good milestone for them, they say. Also, next up is assessing the player hostility and grieving in Crusader and so forth, so they can figure out ways to stop this. Foundry 42 in Frankfurt, they say they've got 3 new hires, 1 AI programmer, 1 weapons artist and another senior programmer. It's mainly looking at the roadmap for the year, but they've also been testing out the AI improvements within the code, prototyping the piping system, which we heard about last week, working on other careers, but they did not specify. They're finalising the FPS metrics with weapons, concepting work on a very specialised gun, they say, and concepts for specialised ammunition, but those two are not related to the same device. Improvements to the weapon rail system as well to help with weapon attachments. I'm very excited for that. As well as addressing bugs, they've done some work on physicalized EVA controls and detection. Detection being when you bump into something. Hopefully it won't send you off into a mad epileptic spin. And further research and development on procedural tech. They say it's a constant push on this procedural tech and good things are coming. So the Around the Verse interview this week was with lead designer Luke Presley, who is from the UK, talking about the future of Crusader. Now, currently Crusader is the size of Jupiter. Like, scale-wise, it's the exact same scale. It's not going to be the actual size when the PU is launched. They were just seeing how far they can push things. They'll also be altering the layout of Crusader. So what we see it now, it will change. This is obviously just the test bed. So they're going to chuck loads of stuff in there, which won't necessarily make it in there in the final PU. They also need to agree on the actual scale of everything. Yella is, they say, way too small. The asteroid tech is not done yet either. So currently we see 6,000 asteroids, which are just always loaded, always in. They want them to be able to stream in so that it helps with optimizations, and they can add more when you get closer. Also, asteroids will be eventually destructible, so this is needed to mine them. So obviously you can mine these asteroids, or they can just explode, which will actually look amazing when we have some cool battles around asteroid belts and so forth, seeing all these different asteroids blow up, shatter into little pieces. Also, actually, when you think about it, it'd be a cool way of escaping pirates and so forth. If you can destroy an asteroid just after you've gone through, you'll shatter it out and there'll be more things to avoid. Anyway, they're looking at other non-dogfighting mechanics like cargo, and something Jared brought up was something like racing, perhaps. They say racing around Yellow would be very, very cool, especially around the asteroid belt. They will definitely be able to do something like that and get it in. Currently, they said it takes about 10 minutes, actual 10 minutes, to fly all around the Yellow asteroid belt, and this is in cruise mode, so the average sort of cruise mode. So it is quite big as it is now, but it's going to get bigger. Finally, Jared asked if they could have Big Benny's vending machine in the hangar, and they said they'll probably sort something out for us. So, there you go. Anyway, Ship Shape was with technical artist Patrick Solano, and he's specifically talking about ship LODs, or level of details, level of display, however you choose, which helps optimize the game. What this does is changes the model of your ship as you get further away from the camera. So when you're up close and personal with a ship, there's millions of polygons to create this ship for the details, and then as you go further away, it reduces to hundreds, thousands, then thousands, until you cannot see it anymore. Do check the link below for Around the Verse to watch it for yourself. It is very in-depth, and he does a lot of good explaining as to how he does this, but I'll leave it for you to check out. Anyway, most valuable post goes to STL Youngblood for his wealth of Star Citizen videos. Highly suggest subscribing to this chap. He's been around for a long time in the community. Excellent work on his videos. Sneak peek is the Starfarer again. Say it's coming to the hangar near you soon. They're just teasing us. I can feel my face melting every time I think of the Starfarer. Anyway, that was Around the Verse. Do tell me your thoughts. Let's move on. So I decided to include Reverse the Verse this week. I think more information is coming through this source than before, and a lot of it is quite important to the game's development, so we shall try and include them as normal, and I'll do the monthly report as a separate video. Anyway, currently they say they're in the planning stage for the next Great Star Marine. Qualifying will require you to create a helmet, so those interested, start drawing some concepts now. For the final and for the main challenge, you'll have to create a suit of armour. They're also planning for Gamescom. They're going to have a booth there as well, which is very exciting. We were given our $100 million rewards, which are in the way of war bonds, and they're available in the hangar at the moment. The colour depends on when you pledge, so if you pledged in 2012, you'll get 2942. If you pledged in 2013, it'll be 43, and so on and so forth. The free fly has been extended to the 14th, so do get in there and give it a go. If you are wanting to work for Star Citizen or for Cloud Imperium, there are plenty of jobs available, so do check the link below to see if you are suited. Other points they picked up on before we got onto the questions was that Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, as you know, are being split. So you'll have to pay for each package separately. They will cost $45 each, but if you already own one, then you'll be able to buy the other one for $15, so pretty much $60 for both. This was actually a perk for earlier backers, so if you pledged early, you got both of them in one package for $45, whereas from the 14th of February, you will need to buy them separately. It will likely go up closer to release as well to more reflect your standard pricing for games these days. So do pledge before the 14th. If you have pledged before the 14th, then you get it all included as a full game. Again, other notes, they're working on the Drake Interceptor, which is a new ship they're working on. So far, the name they've come up with, which is from the writers, is the Monarch. The Drake Monarch, which sounds pretty cool. They say lots of work is going into the Caterpillar right now. In terms of the Starfarer, it's still coming. There's still a little work to go, but it will be up soon. They want it to be amazing. They say it's kind of like a mini capital ship due to its size, and it's pretty much a floating FPS level. The sneak peek this week, as you just saw, was concept damage for it as well. It is coming, and they say that it'll get to around like the 15th of each month, and if they have everything complete and ready to put into a patch, then they'll send that patch to the PTU. But if things aren't, then they'll just chop them out, and the Starfarer didn't make it in January, as Chris sort of said it would, but unfortunately, it should be coming this month, fingers crossed. it'll arrive when it's ready. Also, physicalized EVA will hopefully be in 2.2. Again, these are not set in stone, but they did say it's a night and day difference to what it used to be. Hands will now push you around when you get close to certain things, and your center of mass is different. They say it looks great, it feels great, it is something to be really excited for. A final note they pointed out was that they will try and do a reverse the verse live, so have a live audience. It'll probably be midway through the year. They don't know how it'll be sorted or what they're going to put into it, but it's something again to look forward to. Anyway, on to the questions. Only a few really decent ones, one of them being, why was the Astro Armada prioritised? This is referring to the Around the Verse with the animations and so forth. They say it wasn't prioritised, it's just populating ArtCore is the priority, and that's just the one that they picked up on. When can we move furniture around the hangar? They say after Persistence and Grabby Hands is in, so it'll be coming later, but again, they did mention a while back, if you missed this, they will be allowing your hangar to be separated into rooms, so you can have your armory, your workstation, your living quarters and so forth. It will be coming, but again, there's more priority on other things. Next question is, any design documents coming? They say they are looking at additional ship concepts to go with the mining, maybe the next one. So it sounds, in my opinion, that they're going to bring out another mining ship perhaps, and then we'll have more of a design document on it. Even though we have had some design documents on mining, I think they'll be more in depth, especially when they get the Vauxhall asteroids in and it all works as one unit. Another question is the Herald still in limbo while other ships for Squadron 42 get sorted? And he says yes, it's still pushed back unfortunately until Squadron 42 gets finished up, as obviously that will take priority. Will we see more gameplay with Chris Roberts? Yes is the answer to that one, quite a quick one then. Next question is, when will you show us the new Caterpillar work? And they say that they want it to be further fleshed out. It's not changing dramatically, so it shouldn't take too long, and they're talking sort of about like weeks rather than months, so fingers crossed it'll be soon. Second to last question is the Argo going to go on sale at some point? The Argo is the little ship we saw on the Morrow tour, which is to do with Squadron 42. It's the little additional ship which helps you with your Idris. You say it will be on sale at some point. It's things with like ultralight spacecraft. They won't have any jump drives or quantum drives, but also they say they're working on some possible variants for it, which is very cool. The next question is, any chance the Kasaba will open with 2.2, the Kasaba outlet, which is your clothing shop? And they say no chance. Second to last question, genuine second to last question, is there plans for a firefighting ship? Now they said they've talked about it, but it's not on the schedule as it will need more elaborate game design to go with it. It is something potentially for the future. Last question, do starter ships have jump drives? And they say not all ships will come as standard with a jump drive, but most can be purchased for them, and then they can be upgraded so you can have dual quad jump drives or low emission jump drives. Again, small ships like the Merlin do not have jump drives, but anything from, say, an Aurora size, like Mustang Aurora size ships, they will have the option to buy one as an aftermarket if it doesn't come as standard. Anyway, that was a quick update with the Reverse the Verse. Let me know your thoughts. Also, this week we got to check out a new system in Galactic Guide known as the TIAC system. We were presented with another showdown post titled The March 2, in which there is a discussion regarding the UEE's path to open military conflict with the Vandal after the recent Vega 2 victory. And finally, January's monthly report is up, highlighting all the work each studio has done over the last month. I shall endeavour to cover it in a separate video for those who don't want to read it. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.